The film self is a stereotype of the so-called pro-black woman. She isn't actually pro-black, she's just pro-black woman and she blames black men for all her misfortunes. 12 black men are all colorist, texturist, and sexist, and they don't like black women. Furthermore, she doesn't hesitate to spread her head on social media promoting divestment as the only solution for black women. And when another black woman calls out her behavior, she labels her a pygmy. She isn't like the NaruNyeusi. The NaruNyeusi is different for other black women on social media. She's truly pro-black, loves black men because she knows black men love her, embrace her natural hand, is proud of her culture and love her blackness. Don't hesitate to follow me, it's a win-win for both of us. As you can see on my channel, I provide a different viewpoint on being a black woman, especially a dark-skinned one. Furthermore, I cannot relate to all the colorist or texturist content experienced by other black women. The reason is simple. I mostly never experienced that, and if I ever did, I don't remember it because I don't give that type of negativity any attention. It is really difficult for a black woman like me or you, if you're watching this channel and share the same mindset, to find channels that talk about real self-confidence for black women, especially African girls, embracing Afro, dating with no rest, no protein, divestment, and refusing to fit into Eurocentric beauty standards by creating no own based on African beauty. This is why I feel a disconnection between myself, you, and other black women with the same mindset versus the black women on social media that are called themselves or colorism Christ babe. For example, an experience I can never relate to is their favorite sentence: black men look like black women. Personally, I never believe in this. For starters, you see more black couples than interracial ones within the black community. Even if I didn't believe in that statement, I didn't have the arguments to counter it at the time because during my school years, especially high school, I mostly attracted non-black boys. But the reason wasn't that black boys look like black women. The reason was simply that in my era, black people were a minority. I went to a prestigious high school with very little diversity. People there came from elevated social status, so it was a wealthy environment. It was only after high school when I went to university that I started to attract more black boys. We know that the majority of university students come from the middle or upper middle class. I was surrounded by upper class Africans, and when I moved out of my city and started working student jobs, I began attracting more black boys and being it by stranger. I'm from the suburbs, so I am used to big city, but my suburb was pretty quiet. It was a wealthy area where the upper middle class and millionaires live. So getting it on in the street wasn't common, and the majority of the population there was elderly. This is one experience I can't relate to with other black women. Another is the idea of being perceived as ugly or not having beauty privilege. From the very beginning, I never associated my blackness with anything negative. I made it a point to always link my blackness to positive things. For example, I live mostly among white people, so of course the beauty standards didn't include me. But for red European girls, knowing that I decided to be my own beauty standard, or at least align with African beauty standards. Even within African beauty standard, I didn't feel 100%. I didn't have the luck of being extremely dark skinned or having extremely long, voluminous afro hair or naturally long eyelashes. But I'm much closer to African beauty standard than European ones. I try to fit those standards better by growing my afro hair, tanning my skin, and staying fit. I'm not trying to be arrogant, but even in predominantly white areas, I experienced beauty privilege, and I think it's because of my face. They found me beautiful, and I know that because I overheard them talking about me. You know that sexist reality where when you are a new girl in a boy-dominated area, they rate you beauty, and according to that rating, they decide whether to treat you well or mistreat you. They found me beautiful, but one thing I noticed was always show me respect, and that respect came from my personality. Personality is powerful in social relationships. I was a dark-skinned black girl in white area. I didn't struggle to get male attention or validation. I didn't experience racism or microaggression regarding my blackness. The secret was my personality. I had a strong mindset. I was proud of my blackness and African roots, and I wasn't ashamed to show it. I don't try to fit it, and I only go where I'm respected and desired. Since middle school, I've applied one rule: don't search for love, command, respect. If someone says something racist, I use my words to hurt them back. That combined with being an ambitious girl helped me command respect. For those who will say, yeah, but I'm sure light-skinned black people were treated better than you are actually You are totally wrong. One day, a black man who had just arrived in the city asked me, while I was preparing my African fashion show for no high school party, how people would react, and if they would laugh or make jokes. I was surprised by his question, and he explained that a mixed race girl who was a few years older than me had told him that the high school was really racist and she had bad experience because of her heritage, of her mixture. I told him my experience in the same high school was not the same because I don't try to fit in. I own who I am. Because of that, my fashion show was a big success. I have plenty of examples like that. Once again, I cannot relate to other black women experience of being the only black girl in white areas. Those were my best years. I made strong friendships and I still maintain pushed myself to my limit and met wonderful people, and it was a game changer and one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. I'm not saying I never experienced racism. Everyone, whether Asian, Arab, European, or African, experienced some form of discrimination. Personally, I relate more to black women talking about sexism. I found the term misogynoir stupid. It's just a special term to describe sexism toward black women, and it once again links blackness to something negative. I haven't experienced much sexism, but I've heard hate. For example, when I had an argument with a stupid 15 years old boy 5 years ago, he told me behind my back, what is she talking? She's a woman. Another example, I used to go to an association that helped young people find jobs, and sometimes men would say hello to everyone except to me and the other women in the room. And of course, there's the issue of men continuing to hit on you even after you say no and show them you aren't interested. I would like more to black women experiencing those things than to the colorist Christ babies and themselves. To summarize my experience as a black girl, I often experience colorism and textual rejection by men because of my skin color. I emphasize again I'm a dark skin. I don't have relationship issue and I have afro hair. My privilege comes from being dark skinned, having afro hair and refusing to link my blackness to anything negative. Of course, as a woman, even if a patriarchal society, we have privilege, especially when you know how to use your feminine energy. And another thing I can relate to is the division between light skin, mixed race women, and dark skin women. To me, a colorist person doesn't have a specific skin tone. For example, I had a classmate who took it as a name too when we both thought that she was a dark-skinned black girl. She insisted she was brown-skinned, and moments later she told me she thought dark-skinned girls were ugly. She wasn't my friend anymore after that because I don't hang out with insecure people, especially insecure black people. If your whole friends group is colorist, maybe it's time to choose better friends. We are the average of no friends. If you're only friends with colorists, maybe you colorist yourself or you have internalized colorism. Another experience I can relate to is the fetishization of black men. You know, sentence like "I want to tell dark skinned men" or "light skinned men are special." They equate dark skin with hyper masculinity and see lighter or mixed race men as a pretty boy because they are closer to Eurocentric features. I don't see a difference between black men of different skin tone. To me, both are just black men, and I don't associate stereotype with skin tone. In the US, especially in the US, there is this stereotype that dark skinned men are masculine ghetto while lighter skinned men are soft and feminine. Both of the stereotypes are harmful. Throughout my life, I've seen light skinned black men who are very masculine and dark skinned black men who are soft. But the problem is the representation of black men in media, film, and series. I think there's an issue of hypermasculinization with pressure to be hypermasculinized tend to make black men hide their feeling or else feel the need to be strong and adopt sexist behavior. This problem doesn't just concern black men, it concerns men everywhere, but we are talking about the black community because I'm black and I believe that there is a real problem with the image of the black man. Personally, the black men I've met don't fit those stereotypes but try to detach themselves from that image and create a new one, more soft, more human. A man can cry and it doesn't affect his masculinity. I hope you understand my point. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoy it. As you know, I offer coaching. If you are a black woman and recognize yourself in my testimony, you can subscribe and book a coaching session. The first one is free. I'm trying to create a community on WhatsApp or Discord where we can share our testimony as NaruNyeusi and give each other advice. I think in the comments you will see the link to join either my Discord or WhatsApp group. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye.